What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. Episode 12 in full series. So in this episode, Graham orders for Amelia to be kidnapped and Akira to be killed. Lani helps them escape, and basically, but then she leaves the city, not wanting to see the violence from the fight that's about to happen. And Graham wants to sell Amelia to demons for rare materials to make his soldiers stronger. Akira decides to kill Graham in order to protect Amelia. And then he finds a crystal in his bag that Gills gave him, and there's a message from Sauron in the crystal telling him that going home should be his goal, not revenge. And basically, Akira asks Amelia to forgive him for killing if he does, if she can. So, and he goes inside the mansion, kills Graham, and basically he tells Amelia what he's concerned about is that he didn't feel anything while killing Graham. Like he didn't feel any remorse, any guilt or anything. So he's concerned about that if that he had if he had basically accepted that he was an assassin and killed the king of Ratis, then Sauron would be alive. That a lot of stuff, but Amelia forgives him, saying that basically, whatever happened, she'll stay with him. And then Yosuke senses that something changed within Akira's soul. So I basically it sets up what would be the rest of the story if we get another season. Now Laddie said is by herself saying she wants to sell things with her father soon, and so Crow keeps his promise to start guiding him Akira through the demon realm. And basically he tells himself if it's to protect Amelia or return Japan, he will kill who he needs to without hesitation. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode, good finale. Like they dealt with Graham, like so Sauron's avenged for the most part, outside the King of Retiz still being alive. Now that guy's still gotta be dealt with. So yeah, so if we get another season, be able to cover whoever the next target is, what, and then the demon realm. So that all should be interesting. If we get another season, to my knowledge, we're not. Like it's done. But I thought this was a good show. Like I thought it was pretty good. The magic stuff, the concept, the world. I thought was pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I like this show. Hopefully, we get another season. My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 1. So this episode, Koichi and Pop head to Osaka for Pop to take part in some idols showcase. Basically, there's a bunch of idols from around the nation, like that are like for basically, basically showing off, like singing. Basically you have like the locals. So it's like like how like in U.S. there were like local back in the day you had local bands, and less extent currently you have local groups, local singers. Basically, it's kind of like that. So it's a showcase for a lot of the more local artists. So, and Koichi almost misses the train because he was buying the bento. And what's funny is someone predicted that was going to happen, but he's able to stick onto a train using his quirk, and somehow how he uses it allows it to stick to surfaces. So he, is able to arrive at the same time as Pop, and they come across Fat Gum. Basically, Fat Gum was chasing some crook, and the crook actually caused Fat Gum to drop his Takoyaki, but Koichi used his quirk to catch it. And it's like Fat Gum beat the guy up for like basically like he gave him like some few extra hits for knocking. But once he saw that Koichi was, he was like, "Oh crap, now I feel bad." So he gives Takoyaki to the guy, to the and then Fat Gum was there. Basically, he's there for some secret reason. Basically, there's some drugs being smuggled through the Pop Aisle showcase, so he's there to help investigate. And so Tsukachi, who recognizes Pop, tells his subordinates to keep an eye on her. And so Racerhead and Naruhara is confronting the Hara brothers, who are some low-level drug dealers. He asks them about Trigger and learns that like basically they have a lighter dose version, while basically a lot of the other people do like the more dangerous version that we've seen. And Tsukachi is called the people involved with the modifications at the villain factory. And the Hot Bears agree to help when they learn one of the former instant villains was their friend Kirihito. And so yeah, so then so one of the idols that Pop and Koichi meet is Monica Kaneyashiki, who like works for a crab supplier called Kanidoge. So it's revealed so Monica disappears and Pop substitutes for her using like a crab mech suit. Now it's revealed that Monica's a cop going undercover with like to help Fat Gum with the investigation. So she gets on her cop gear and goes to find out if the food that's being delivered is drugs in disguise. That's how the episode ends. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode, good way to start the season. And it's funny, Fat Gum and Monica's interactions were funny because Fat Gum doesn't know when Monica's joking when she doesn't. So that was funny. And you have and it's funny the takoyaki scene was so, like the food scene was so funny. Like I thought it was great. Like I thought it was I thought it was great. Like it was freaking hilarious. So yeah, so and yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Racerhead coming back was great. And it looks like we're getting a lot more about the about Trigger, the drug. Obviously, these two stories are connected. Kind of like doing. If you remember the Shy Hisakai arc from the main series, how like you know you had different like groups of the pro heroes and the student like employees, and how they were seemingly separate, but then they all merged together into one mission at the end. Basically it's kind of like what's happening here. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Well, then Kamuy season 5 episode 1. So this one, all the different factions, the Yasugibo's group, the 7th Division, Hijikata's group are head towards Sapporo to find Uchi Keiji, and then base and also try to investigate a serial killer that they believe is another convict. So obviously, you had the infamous scene of the serial killer and one of the members of 7th Division uh, uh, spanking their monkeys and shooting quote quote projectiles at each other. So you have different facts. So Sugabo, Hijikata, Hijikata's group like briefly like those two briefly fight, but then basically they agree to work together since their motives for the treasure don't really conflict with each other. yeah, so Ostrapa tries to look at Hijikata's his skins to like make sure like which ones are fake. Basically, there's like the rule that seems a lot of them have followed, and like there's some that don't follow, so she doesn't know which ones are real, which ones are fake. Seems to me that's what Tsurumi's plan was, like in having Hijikata get the fake skins to basically so that make it harder for it to be deciphered. And you see, basically it's revealed that the killer he's basically a copycat of Jack the Ripper, and so the layout of London where the killings happened, that basically if they over basically when it was overlaid over the of Sapporo, so basically they were able to figure out Hijikata with the help of one the other this of of this one guy they were able to basically like point figure out exactly where the next killing's gonna be. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. And so I thought this was a good episode. It was very funny. And very interesting. Like I thought this was freaking great. That was a good episode. Obviously, we're reaching the end game. This is part of the final arc. Final season. You know, getting close to the end, and you have so everyone's gathering Sapporo. So obviously, a bunch of big fights are coming up. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Well, that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.